Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today we're going to be taking a look at what the new Crystrons could look like with the two new support cards we got in the latest mini box. I managed to pull one of each because I basically was able to afford one full box, so I have a copy of everything, but I didn't get too many doubles because I went 11 packs into the second box. So the cards are Crystron Impact, which is a trap card. Target one of your banished Crystron monsters, special summon it, and if you do, your opponent controls any face-up monster, change their defense to 0 during either player's turn except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard. When a card effect is activated that targets a Crystron monster you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard and negate that effect. Second effect is really good because you can negate anything that targets. But the main effect, target one of your banished Crystron monsters, special summon it. That's so good because your materials are going to get banished if you synchro with Citri. A lot of these cards have effects that activate by banishing, so being able to get those back and recycle them to some degree, it's really good. And on top of that, if your opponent controls any face-up monsters, change their defense to 0. That is a permanent effect. Why is that relevant right now? What is one of the most annoying monsters to get over right now? Cositus, which just happens to spend most of his life, if not all of his life, in defense position. So you put this boy to 0 and then you have an easy out for it, which is great. You also run Samurai Destroyer, which does hinder a little bit what Cositus wants to do. But yeah, I think this card has a ton of potential. I wish I had more so I could play around with it some more. But it's still searchable if you banish your Smiger, so it's okay as a one-up. And then the other card, we have Crystron this turn. You can target one face-up card you control. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except machine type synchro monsters. Also destroy that card. And if you do, special summon one Crystron tuner from your deck. You can manage this card from your graveyard, add one Crystron monster from your deck to your hand except itself. And you can only use one effect once per turn. So this card is really good because before you had to scrap Recycler and then send the Sulfonier and then discard. Now what you can send is you can send your Thisfern, you can then search the Sulfonier or search maybe something that you want in the graveyard if you already have a Sulfonier in hand. A lot of the times what I search is I search the turtle. That way I can send the turtle from my hand to the graveyard, special summon the Sulfonier, and then if I want an additional summon, an additional special summon, I can use the turtle to maybe go into my big boy Aquarium Drax. I mean, there's definitely a lot of potential in this card. We run two of the tuners that synchro with banished cards. That way we can recycle it back into the deck, and we can also special summon him after we banish him using the Crystron Impact. The rest of the cards are all pretty standard in the Crystron deck. We have Recycler to send any machine to the graveyard. We have Smiger, which is a level 3 that can search or traps. We have our main Citri, which is what we're going to synchro into. We have Ryan. I run one turtle and one Quan, and then obviously the Sulfonier. You guys know what these cards do. This is an odd number of cards to have in a deck, but I did it because I was trying to figure out what to cut as I was building it. And everything came in pretty clutch in different situations. You can cut the wall of these, but you don't have a lot of defensive options if you cut the wall of these. You can cut the Cosmic Cyclones, but then you have a lot of removal if you cut the Cosmic Cyclones. And then these traps are really good because, again, you can search them with Smiger, and then you can just pitch them from your hand for the Sulfonier special summon. Now, this deck, more than anything, I think, highlights an issue in Duel Links, which is our extra deck size. There's so many cards I can't run because I just don't have enough room. I can run the Quarion or Vermilion. I can't run both because there's not enough room. If I put Vermilion in here, I have to cut a Samurai Destroyer. I can't put Black Rose Dragon. I can't put a level 8. There's so many things you can't do because of the size of the extra deck. But the thing that hurt me the most when I was trying to build this deck is that I can't have this and that, because I think there is huge potential, and I might play around with that deck in the future. We're just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna get too into it because I might play around with it later on, and I want you guys to watch that. So let's go ahead and show you some gameplay. We're using Tie That Binds because it's a pretty generic skill right now after the beatdown nerf. And yeah, let's show you some games. Now Crystrons, it's actually a really fun deck and an interesting deck because you have so many options to do. It's not very linear in, I mean, you have your bread and butter plays as with every deck, but really the options, depending on what situation you're in, are really good. But it's also a deck that you have to be comfortable. It's not a deck that you can just pick up in a few duels. I was having trouble keeping up at the beginning with the timer. I got down to like 5 seconds in a lot of different duels, just because I had to really thought of the plays. They're not automatic yet because, you know, I haven't been playing this deck a lot. So here we're going up against Ancient Gears. We're going to Cosmic Cyclone that Gear 10 so he doesn't get a reactor. And then he's not going in the battle phase, which kind of sucks because that forces you to make your main phase play. And we're just going to summon a Destroyer because I don't know what that face down is and I don't want to know. We top deck a Scrapper Cycler. That's going to send this turn. We're going to banish the Smyger to search the trap, banish the Sulfoneer. Banish the Tyrant to search Sulfoneer. So now I can send the trap to get Sulfoneer. Special summon another tuner, and let's just go into double Samurai Destroyer because why not? Oh, actually, never mind. We're going to Dolphin. You know, another good choice. Dolphin can have the attack. And in the end phase, I'm just gonna go ahead and banish the Ancient Gear Castle. That way he can normal summon a reactor for free, and we get the scoop after that. It was actually intentional that I made all my plays and then used the Cosmic Cyclone because I didn't want him to scoop too early and ruin my replay, so to speak. Alright, here we have a Kaiba next. And this is Balance. I believe this is Triomeds. Yes. So Triomid Cruiser, Hunter. I mean, this is like the ideal hand because you get to draw, search, and, you know, set up a back row. We do have the Cosmic Cyclone. We're gonna have to save it until the very end though to see if this is a Triomid Pulse. We're gonna chain it to that. It's hard to banish one of the field spells because even if I do, he already has 2 in the grave. So I was more focused on banishing the Pulse, if that's what the back row had. So we're just gonna summon the Amatrix. Master is going to activate to get a cruiser on the board. We're going to activate this Burn effect. Summon Orion. Actually, we're not summoning Orion. Sorry. I wasn't paying attention because I was talking a lot. We are going to set Crystron entry because that's going to give us a Orion on the field alongside a Citri. So we can go into a level 6 powered Insectron to prevent damage, or we can synchro into you know, a level 7 Samurai Destroyer, whatever we want. We'll have 2 synchros on the board, and if my Amatrix happens to stay on the field, we can try to go into Quarion. So there's a Pulse. We saved the Cosmic Cyclone for this exact moment. Let's banish that. My attack goes through, and now he can't really out my Amatrix. It's not gonna have enough attack. So on the end phase, we're gonna activate entry, special summon 2 tuners. Activate entry to send a what's the guy, the level, I'm sorry, I'm sending a level 4, yeah, so I can make my Amatrix a level 4 and go into Quarion. There we go. This is gonna let us banish everything, the 2 Triomid monsters on the field alongside the 1 in the graveyard. So effectively, you know, leaving his Pulse fodder non-existent, and he's gonna be in a top deck situation. Unfortunately though, I'm going to summon Rosenix. Rosenix is going to special summon a Ryan so that I have access to my powered Insectron, but I attack into a Drowning Mirror Force, and that's where, you know, the lack of removal really hurts. I could have gone into Vermilion, destroyed the back row, made a different play, but the extra deck size really hinders your options. You know, you have to kind of stick to the most important ones. So we're gonna synchro summon Insectron. He can be destroyed by battle by card effect, and I take no battle damage. top deck a Tetris or a Tistburn, whatever his name is. We're just gonna call him Tetris. I'm going to search so I can synchro into Dolphin. And we're gonna do a lot of damage. Now we have to get aggressive before he's able to regain the card advantage. Because right here he's gonna get a search, so we gotta do as much damage as possible. Dolphin, half the attack. Activate ties. And he's left on life support. 300 life. Goes for the master but can't do much else. We're gonna activate White R Dolphin. Smiger is going to search my entry. And I'm just gonna activate ties, save my recycler for, you know, follow-up plays. He's forced to use his Canadia, but I control 2 monsters, so we get the win. Next we have Yummy Yugi. I don't know, man. I keep thinking, you know, what would be a fair extra deck size, and you know, my mind goes to 10. 10 might be too much, and the way, you know, how long it took for them to give us a 6 slot, it probably tells me that we're never gonna get to 10. We might get another slot, you know, when XCs are released or something like that. But yeah, it just sucks because we have all this really good options, you know, that basically make it to where you don't have to run main deck outs for certain things. You'll just have them in the extra deck, and we can't run them. Alright, Magicians. Rod is going to search for navigation. We have a pretty good setup. Wall of D. Let's just do some cheap damage. Citri is going to special summon my Solfnir, and we're gonna go into Samurai Destroyer. Alright. Going to normal summon. We unfortunately get hit by Floodgate, otherwise I would have Synchron and then, you know, search. So we're gonna ties, get rid of both monsters. Look at my opponent's top deck. So no delay right here. Draws. Top deck's Dark Magician. I'm like, that's fine. This is a really bad matchup for my opponent, I will say that, because he obviously doesn't run Beatdown, he's running Balance. He doesn't have a way of boosting his Dark Magician, so he's gonna have to use things such as Thousand Knives to get rid of my Samurai Destroyer, and then my Samurai Destroyer can just float. But we get the double animation at the very least. Nice flex. And yeah, that's pretty much it. He can destroy my Thisvern, which in turn is just gonna give me a search. So I'm gonna tribute the dead Citri. Special summon the Smiger, destroy, special summon. Go into a level 6. Powered Insectron, hit the field. So we got our second 20. I thought this guy had 26. Never mind. Get another monster in the field. Get rid of both Dark Magicians. Sets a back row. We top deck the Cosmic Cyclone, but this is what I'm talking about. If I could, it's very easy to just go into my into a Vermilion, right? I summon this thing, destroy it, special summon Citri, use the Samurai Destroyer to go into Vermilion, but I can't because it's not in my extra deck. So luckily we top deck the Cyclone, so we're gonna banish that Drowning Mirror Force and get the win. I don't know, man, every time I look at, like, probably the card that I could cut out of the extra deck for a Vermilion would be the Dolphin. But because of the amount of waters we run in the deck, he has so much potential to just float over and over that it's like you have to run it. And Samurai Destroyer is like the best monster to go to, so I can't just put him at 1. I don't know. We need more slots. Alright, this Burn is going to destroy itself to special summon Citri, and we're going to set an impact. Unfortunately, that gets immediately Cyclone, makes me sad. And triple Celtic Guard with Tie That Binds. I haven't played this deck. It looks really fun, but unfortunately, it kind of gets shut down by what I'm running. Because, you know, they have pretty low attack. This boy, you know, none of his monsters can out this guy. He can try to sit on the obnoxious Celtic guard, but again, Samurai Destroyer, easy out for this. And this is what I mean right here. Look at what I have. I have a level 5 and a level 3. Guess what I could go into so easily. Red Dragon Archfiend. Blow all of this up in one swift attack. But there's just not enough extra deck space, man. So we have to do it the slow way. Summon the Samurai Destroyer. I leave the obnoxious Celtic guard on the board to kind of give him a false sense of security. Sure enough, he thinks that can hold me down, but my Destroyer can just get over him. Summon the Recycler just to have enough damage for lethal. And that's game. And last but not... Oh, I clicked the same one. I was trying to drag. Why you do this? No! This video is already too long. Bruh. Get me out of here. Alright, last replay. Sorry. Another Yugi Moto. And this is what you're gonna see, you know, Kaibas are going to be replaced by the protagonists. You're gonna see a lot of Yuseis, a lot of Yugis, a lot of Jaidens. Because Tie That Binds is just the skill to go to. Alright, another Dark Magician deck. Add Magician's Navigation. Oh, this win was pretty free, I remember this one. Triple back row. Triple back row pretty free, huh? Recycler is going to send the Tisburn. Tisburn is going to search my turtle. And this is what I was talking about. I already have the Sulfonier in hand. So the only play we used to have was Recycler into Sulfonier. Well, now we can send this guy search. Now I have a turtle in the graveyard, which is going to give me a special summon. Summon level 4. Level 4 destroy for a level 2, and then banish the turtle. So this is a great opening because I have a Samurai Destroyer on the field. If my opponent, you know, the special summons a lot, I still have the Citri to go into Amatrix and switch everything to Defense Vision. But we get hit by a Treacherous, fortunately for us, or Destroyer just floats. But we lose the Citri, which was a key defensive play to have. Top decks another Magician's Rod, adds 1000 knives. Replaces the Rod with a Silent Magician, which is pretty sad because he can't even attack the Suicide because we negate the effect. So we're just gonna summon another level 4. Smiger, search the trap. Summon the Ryan. Summon another Destroyer. And we get the win. So yeah, I think Crystrons are really fun. I think that card has a lot of potential, even as a one-off, because if you're gonna keep running the Recycler engine, you know, it's very easy to just send your one copy of it to the grave. And then the same goes for the trap because Smiger can search it. But yeah, I think they definitely do make the deck better. But at the end of the day, what leaves me sad is that we can have Crystrons at its fullest potential because we are limited by the extra deck size, and that really sucks for such a fun deck. But I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. And till next time.